Heathens, what's going on, man? Look, I feel like it's been too long. I really feel like it's been too long. Partly my fault, entirely my fault. We've been rocking and rolling. We've been rocking and rolling this summertime. Just entered summer. Fall was amazing. We're gonna talk a little bit about numbers later, or actually in the next video. But that's why I haven't been able to pump videos like how I'd like to. That's still an excuse, because people get to it. Gary V pump out 10 videos a day. I know he's 40 times as busy as I am. So what I'm saying is, we got some content coming. We're coming back to back to back to back. No more excuses. I don't care how busy we are. It's on me to get the content out. I got some, we just hit 200 subscribers. You know what I mean? I know that's not a whole lot, but a couple months I've been doing this. I'm excited to build a small little, YouTube heathen community that we have right here. And, I hope it continues to grow. Today, first of all, subscribe real quick. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. It ain't gonna hurt you. It ain't gonna hurt you. Listen, I promise you're gonna come back and watch me again. And if you don't, you're gonna come back and watch me again. So just hit the subscribe button. Show love. It's great for the algorithm of content, blah, blah, blah. Listen, let me tell you something about this. People be like, oh, it helps the content. It helps me grow the channel. It's like when they say, oh, buy my merchandise. It helps the channel grow. Look, subscribe to me so I can get more subscribers, but my channel will be bigger. And it will help me communicate, back and forth to you guys and whatnot. But on to today's topic. Should you start a junk removal business? It seems like everybody's doing it. It seems like it's the hot commodity right now. It seems like you can step in the game and just make hundreds of thousands of dollars, which you can. It's low barrier to entry, which means you don't need a whole lot to get started. You got a pickup truck, hell, you got an SUV, you can start. It is something that's gonna give you a high return of profit if you do it the right way. It is something that you can grow rapidly and quickly, but you also wanna be efficient when you do that. But the ultimate question is this the right business for you? Also, as we enter the recession, let's hop into it. So first things first, is this business right for you? And the main thing that I wanna address right now is there's a lot of people hopping on here attempting to give game on junk removal and the business and what you should do with this and what you should do with that. Look, you ain't been in the game that long. There's some people on here that's been in the game 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Not a lot. There's a lot of people hopping on here not giving very good information. And I'm not on this video to be negative at all. I love the community. That's one thing I tell my family about, I tell, my girl about. This community is one of the most supportive communities I've ever seen. Even from my previous profession into this now. It almost seems like everybody supports everybody for the most part. Like compared to contractors and construction and all kind of power washing businesses, junk removal seems like this is the main, like the support in this community is absolutely insane. I love being a part of it. Going into year 2, I love it. But there's people on this platform that's giving bad information when it comes to finances. I haven't seen a lot of good videos on how you can finesse to get ahead when it comes to making financial decisions, loans, not taking out loans. It seems like in the community, it seems like you should almost just start out with buying everything cash and trying to get ahead. And if you don't got it, that's okay sometimes, but it's not always correct what I hear on here. Especially when like I said, when it comes to financial situations, I haven't seen anybody really give. I see, Junk Removal, Lee Gobbo with Junk Removal Authority. Now he's a killer. He knows what he's talking about. He's really the only one I've seen on here, not the only one, but one of very few that I've seen giving actual game on how to really go like this. Now, if you're trying to, run a one truck operation and you want to look good and you don't really have a goal of being a big franchise and expanding and doing millions, then this isn't for you. But there seems like a lot of us on here that really wants to do that type of thing, that really wants to get there. And there's certain steps you got to take to get there, other than the enormous amount of work to get there. I'm gonna touch on this later in the video about once you get into certain financial situations, what's the next best move for you? I have a banking background. So it's time to take off this cape and unveil all this nonsense I'm hearing on YouTube about, well, yeah, you got $5,000, $10,000 in cash, go buy it, blah, 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 blah. We're gonna hop into that later. So let's hop into part 1. Is the junk removal business right for you? First thing you gotta ask yourself, is manual labor something that you can really see yourself doing, at least being out there in the field for a couple of years, bare minimum? And I say that because it doesn't matter how much funds you have up front. In my opinion, you need to get out there in the field and you need to see what junk removal is about. I don't care if you have 500K in the bank, 100 million in the bank. You need to get out there and see what it's about. You need to go face to face with these customers. You need to know how to quote and bid jobs over the phone, quote and bid jobs in person. If you have a couch, a big couch, you need to know how to get that out from a room, from upstairs. You need to know how to get pool tables out of the basement. Are you okay with hoarder houses where there may be rats, mice, feces? Yeah, human feces. You know what I mean? You can see in my previous videos what'll be going on, but are you ready for that? You need to get down and get your hands dirty. At least, you know, if you have more money up front, you don't have to do it as long because you can hire and fast forward through the process, but you still need to get out there and spend some time in the field. That way you can truly coach to it, and that your employees and people part of your team can show you the respect, you know, that you deserve because you've got out there and done it. So step one, are you ready to get out into the field, get your hands dirty, and see what junk removal is about? If your answer is yes, check that off. Now, step two, the next question you need to ask yourself, are you ready to run a business? This is arguably the most important. Are you ready to run a business? I feel like a lot of people are using junk removal as like their barrier to entry to being an entrepreneur and a business owner. I see a lot of people in the comments, my comments, other YouTubers comments saying that they're ready to leave their job, them and their wife are ready to leave their job and hop into it. That's amazing. You know, to hear that people like this is something they can see themselves doing. You know, that is amazing to see. It's amazing to hear. To see people who's 20, 30, 19, 40, 50, and say that they're ready to just hop into the game and become entrepreneurs and business owners, that's amazing to hear. I'm 100% supportive of it. And I say, balls to the wall, do it. But let's bring it back a little bit. That all sounds great, but are you ready for what comes with business ownership? Listen, I see a lot of, you know, it's time to talk about things. I feel like a lot of people are positive in the community. I want to be positive, but let's talk about things like, you know, what are your goals with this whole business thing? Are you just trying to, you know, you see that people post a video, like I may post a video that says $4,000 in 6 hours, or I made, you know, $800 in 50 minutes, or you know, da. People say that a lot on here. You see those videos, but you don't know the work that goes behind it. You don't know how much somebody's putting into marketing. Are you ready to hire a marketing team in this? Because if you want to compete, you need a marketing team. You need to be on Google Ads. If you're trying to play on the big ball field and then stadium with everybody else, it's going to get to a point early on, you're going to need to get out there and you need to get on Google Ads. You're going to need to get out there and get a marketing team. Know how to respond to customers. Wake up 3, 4 a.m. and respond to emails. Get up earlier than you've ever been. You know, can you balance and maintain that? Business is going to have to be right up there with family, right under family. And if you're religious, your religion or whatever else, you're going to have to sacrifice family time. You're going to have to sacrifice vacations. You know, I see a lot of people on here taking vacations. Oh, we did this a month. I'm taking a week off. I called to get, you know, decals put on another truck last week, and this was a business in the area that had 5 stars. They maybe had 10. They're a newer business, and I get on the phone with the woman and I say, you know, when are you available? You know, I'm looking to get this done within the next week. She says, oh, okay, yeah, well, I'm going out of town for 4th of July, so I'll be back next week. It says your business has been, you know, you've been in business for a year and a half. Why are you going on vacation out of town for? Like, it's just the mindset I don't get. Like, are you in this to do this, or are you in this to make a little money? Anyway, you don't have to be a big player. You don't have to, you know, want to be a 1-800-GOT-JUNK. You don't have to be on that. You might just want to be a mom and pop setup. Some of you, I don't know if you watched Matt and JoJo with Sonoma Strong Hauling. They give great game for people who want to be extremely successful in, like, what I see is like a local mom and pop setup, but in a very professional way. You know what I mean? They look like they're #1 in their city or in their county or whatever Sonoma is. Look like they're #1 in it. They do their marketing well. They spend a lot of time on content. They do a lot of good job with their advertising, their trucks. They are, you know, the poster child for being, you know, like a 1-2 truck operation. That is completely fine. They look like they're doing great. They have money in the bank. They're able to take trips, this, that, and the other. There is nothing wrong with that. And then there's the other side of the spectrum where you have people like Junk Removal Authority that's trying to put you in the game to play with the big ballers. You know what I mean? $1 million in revenue, $2 million in revenue, $5 million in revenue, 5 truck operation, 10, 15 truck operation. You know what I'm saying? So what is your goals here? You need to establish what that is, and you need to move forward. That all ties back to the business owner. Think about that. Are you ready for that? If you're ready for it, check that box off. Number 3, can you sell? Right up there with the other 2, it's like this, and this. You need to have some skills, okay? You don't have to have a lot of skills. Don't get it wrong. You don't have to have a lot of skills. You can start out in the beginning just getting started, going to people's houses, you know, knocking on doors, getting jobs going. That's fine, you can build skills. But are you ready to, if you don't have any sales experience, as you're starting your business, you need to acquire those skills so you don't go like this, all right? You need to have some kind of sales experience because you need to know how to talk to people. You need to know how to win jobs. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter if you want to have a mom and pop set up, and it doesn't matter if you want to be the biggest franchise in the world. You need to know how to sell and have that skill set because you need to know how to coach to it. You need to know how to close deals. You know, if you ever get employees, how are you going to teach them to close deals? How are you going to coach them? You know, what's the system you have in place for it? But, you know, starting out, when you go to a customer door and, you know, you give a customer a quote and you let them know, hey, it's going to be between $500 and $700. And they say, oh, okay, well, let me talk to my husband. Or let me talk to my wife real quick. Let me talk to my dad. It's his property. And we'll go, what do you say to that? Oh, okay, bye. No, you don't. You know how to ask questions. Oh, okay, well, it's your dad's property. Okay, so is he, you know, will he be the one paying for it? Are you paying for it? Oh, he'll be the one paying for it. Okay, you know, if that's the case, you know, I'd love to have a conversation with you there now, kind of tell you why we would probably, you know, work best for you. We've been in the game. We are a local company, and, you know, we take pride in being able to help people in our own cities and our own, you know, community. You're going to get the best bang for your buck with us. And you go from there, and that was just a, you know, a cheap little role play I just did. But you need to know how to just not take no for an answer. You need to know how to close. You need to know how to not be like a sports agent salesy. You know, hey, yeah, Tom, let's just lock this in and da 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 da. Corny, we don't do that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Get that skill set. You know, work on that skill set. Are you ready to sell? It don't matter if somebody calls you at 4 in the morning, are you ready to sell? It don't matter if it's 12 o'clock at night. It don't matter if it's 7 o'clock, you having dinner with your family watching it. You gonna pick that phone up and close that? You better close it. If you're ready to do that, check that box off. Now, let's go back and go over the first 3 things we said. Are you ready for a little bit of manual labor to understand the junk removal business? I don't care how much money you have in the bank. You need to get out there and get your hands dirty so you know what's going on and you can relate to it. Number 1. Number 2, are you ready to be a business owner? Are you ready to be an entrepreneur? Ready to get out there and no matter what, by any means, get it done. Number 3, are you ready to sell? Even if you're uncomfortable being a salesman or a saleswoman, are you willing to learn? Are you willing to work on it every day to get better at it so that your business can grow, you can coach to it, and you'll overall be successful in this business? Those are the 3 key points out of anything before you get into equipment, before you get into marketing, before you get into anything. You need to focus on those 3 key points over anything else if you're ready to get into this business.